The NFL calendar turns the page, and suddenly it's week 1. Miami walks into Lucas Oil Stadium staring at a matchup that feels heavier than it looks on paper. Dolphins against Colts. Two franchises that both ended last season with the exact same record, 8-9, and the exact same bitter aftertaste of watching January football from home. Now the season reopens, and one question lingers. Who really steps forward? Who sets the tone? Who refuses to stay stuck in mediocrity? Miami has lived through years of stop-and-start momentum. One season they dazzle, the next they crash, and the cycle keeps repeating. Indianapolis hasn't exactly been a model of stability either. Both are hungry. Both are tired of being overlooked. But when you line them up side by side, you feel something different. You feel that Miami, for all their scars, carries the sharper edge. But does it even matter when the Colts have owned the head-to-head battle for nearly a decade? The record is cruel. Miami has only one win against Indianapolis across the last 10 years. One. Every time it feels like the Dolphins might break through, somehow the Colts squeeze out the win, whether it's with quarterback improvisation, defensive grit, or just plain opportunism. How do you walk into a stadium with that kind of history pressing against your chest? Does Miami look at the scoreboard and see a fresh game? Or do they feel those ghosts? And yet, there's this undercurrent that says the past can't chain you forever. Every roster turns over, every locker room changes. Today's Dolphins are not the same team that stumbled in 2015 or 2019. They have different leaders, a different energy, a different urgency. But football is never just about the roster. It's about what lives in the head when the first snap comes. Tua Tagovailoa, stepping in for his 6th season. 6 years in the league already. Where did that time go? It feels like yesterday the debates raged about his durability, his ceiling, his arm strength. Those questions haven't disappeared. They hover like storm clouds, and every incomplete pass or every sack will bring them right back into focus. But there's another truth. Miami lives and dies with Tua. His rhythm sets the tone, his confidence shapes the offense, and his decisions tilt games. Does Tua walk onto that field in Indianapolis, carrying the weight of proving himself again? Or does he simply play, free and fearless? Can he shake off the doubt, the scrutiny, the constant what-if narratives that surround him? That's the storyline nobody admits, but everyone feels. Across the field, it's Daniel Jones. Strange, isn't it? 6 seasons with the Giants, endless ups and downs, and now he arrives in Indianapolis trying to reboot his career. A new jersey, a new playbook, but the same questions he never silenced in New York. Turnovers, decision-making, inconsistency. And yet, there's danger in a quarterback with nothing to lose. Jones has been written off by many, and that makes him unpredictable. Do the Dolphins' defense respect him enough? Do they press him? Make him uncomfortable, force him into the mistakes he's known for? Or does Jones suddenly find the clean slate he's been begging for and turn this opener into his statement game? The odds lean slightly toward Indianapolis. A 1-point favorite. That's essentially nothing. A coin flip disguised as analysis. Over, under at 46.5. The Colts projected to score 23.5 points. All neat, all tidy. But numbers don't feel the game. Numbers don't tell you about Tyreek Hill testing his body after preseason setbacks, or Devon Achane pushing through his own bumps and bruises. They don't capture the tension of Miami's offensive line protecting Tua against a pass rush that knows his injury history. Numbers don't scream in your ear when a receiver stretches for a 3rd down grab or when a linebacker misses a tackle in the open field. They're just shadows of what actually happens when the whistle blows. Let's not pretend otherwise. The Dolphins' offense has the higher ceiling. Even with the aches and tweaks of preseason, the combination of Tua's quick release, Hill's explosiveness, and Jalen Waddle's reliability creates a nightmare for defenses. Add Achane's speed in the backfield and Raheem Mostert's persistence, and suddenly the game can flip in a blink. But how many times have we said that before? How many times has Miami looked loaded on paper, only to sputter in execution? That's the haunting part. It's not about talent. It's about consistency, about finishing drives, about turning opportunities into points. Will this be another game where the Dolphins move the ball between the 20s, but stall in the red zone? Or do they finally impose themselves from the first quarter on? Indianapolis defense, was near the bottom last year, fourth worst overall, leaking 361.2 yards per game. That stat alone should give Miami confidence. The over hit in 10 of the Colts games last season, including a streak of 5 straight to close the year. This isn't a unit that has proven it can shut down explosive offenses. But here's the catch. Week 1 always brings surprises. Defenses that look soft in December suddenly look sharp in September. Young players step up. New schemes catch opponents off guard. Are the Colts truly vulnerable? Or are we underestimating them just because of what happened last year? On the other side, Miami's defense is reshaping itself too. Veterans have moved on. Young names are being asked to step into big roles. Chop Robinson, Kenneth Grant, raw talent, energy, hunger. But with youth comes unpredictability. Can they keep their discipline when Daniel Jones starts moving around? Can they handle the tempo when the Colts push the pace? It's easy to say the Dolphins' defense will grow into something special as the season unfolds. But this is Week 1. Growth takes time. Mistakes happen. And against an opponent that has quietly held the upper hand for years, one mistake can tilt the whole game. This isn't just a game. For Miami, it's a statement about where they stand after years of trying to climb out of mediocrity. For the Colts, it's about proving that the Daniel Jones experiment isn't a dead end. Both fan bases are restless. Both locker rooms know the stakes. If Miami wins, the narrative shifts. They're off to a strong start, shaking off the ghosts of the past, proving that this season might finally be different. If they lose, the doubts multiply instantly. Tua questioned again, the offense second-guessed, the defense scrutinized. One game, and suddenly the whispers get louder. At the end of the edition, one brutal reality stood frozen in time. Dolphins trailing 20-0 to the Colts. Silence. Disbelief. How can a team with so much firepower, so much expectation, be stuck at 0 while the scoreboard mocks them? Is this just a slow start, the kind you shake off with a second-half rally? Or is it the same old story, promise without delivery, speed without finish, noise without results? The fans watching, hearts pounding, don't care about stats or projections anymore. They care about points. They care about pride. Because in the end, it doesn't matter how many yards you gain, how many times the analysts say you should win. If you're staring at 20-0, you're losing. And in this league, losing fast becomes a habit.